Thank you, Naman. Everybody able to see this?
Yes, we can, Shippy.
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right. So just like Mamta said, it's very nice that all of you guys have joined, and that means that you are interested in food processing. But what is the reason behind why are you interested in food processing? Is it because your friend is doing it, or is it because it is a fad? Besides having innate desire to start a food processing facility, we should always do the maths behind why do we want to get into this sector. Is India the right place, or for that matter, is food processing growing in? What is the future of food processing in India? Uh, is it better if I invest somewhere else rather than this? So we have to answer these questions before investing our, time, resources, energy, wherever, whichever business we start with. So why food processing? Because I think we are blessed to be born in India, because India is the land of plenty. India has the largest livestock population in the world. It's also the largest producer of milk in the world, and one of the 5 top producers of rice, wheat, groundnut, tea, coffee, tobacco, spices, sugar, oilseed. A lot of products are exported as well. Many of them. आप एपिटा की साइड पे जाएंगे, आपको वहाँ पे peanuts, groundnuts, coffee board, spices board. So there are various boards set up by government to encourage the exports also of these, because India is one of the best producers in the world, all of these products. India is also the second largest producer of fruits and vegetables, cereals, fisheries. So India is definitely a land of plenty, and that is largely because India is blessed with 20 agroclimatic regions. There are 15 major climates, so various crops could be sowed at various places. We have 50% of cultivable land, as compared to, which is one of the largest as compared to other countries across the globe. Largest arable land and 46 soil types. So the variety of fruits and vegetables that is available in India is far larger than any other country offers. And this is actually true if you go to Philippines, or if you go to Vietnam, or you talk about Thailand. They would have only 2 or 3 major crops that they export. But however, India, the basket of products that we have is very, very large as compared to the world. Although we are blessed with all of this, still I think there is something that India struggles with, and that is post-harvest loss. Now, despite being with, of fruits, vegetables, and crops, our post-harvest loss is 92,000 crores. This is as per a study conducted in 2018 of 2016 data. So, and recently I was reading, is actually now 2.4 lakh crores. So our post-harvest loss, which basically means the loss which happens because whatever is produced, and whatever is produced is of course perishable, that is not processed in time, or that is not stored in time, or that is not transported timely. So these are the losses. Yeah, if and 92,000 crores is 98,000 crores was what was the agricultural budget in 2016 at that time. And this is a massive resource of the country that is bleeding right now. अगर कुछ देश के लिए करना है तो food processing में definitely one grow, shine. It's a sunrise sector, but it helps the economy. Yeah. And why do we have such a loss vis-a-vis countries? Is largely food processing ability is very less. Now, this is a comparison of countries as to the percentage of food that they are processing. So we see that US is processing about 10% of their food stuff. Brazil is processing about 20%, Philippines 17, Thailand 30, China 23, and India is processing only 10% of of whatever is grown, which is very, very less. It's extremely less. there is data that says 30% of the fruit and vegetable actually goes waste. This is a big economic loss in a country where, you know, people are dying from hunger, the farmers are not. So if there is enough entrepreneurs in food processing, if there are opportunities now, there is loan available. So if we focus on this sector, we have good food processing there. We have people who are investing in post harvest logistics. We could really do wonders, and that is where there's a lot of opportunity. Yeah, going forward. So, and I'm very proud to say that that's what our company actually is doing since a very long time. So we have dedicated, farmer groups who work with us, and we have collection centers near to the growing areas, from where we procure directly from farmers and shift it to our factory, where it is processed under quality controls and given out to various hotels, restaurants, and catering. So our prime client. So basically, this is our entire supply from the farmers till end customers. Our end customers being the HoReCa market, which is food service, hotel, restaurants, caterers, where when you go out and eat, if you go to any restaurant for that matter, you would be able to see our products, either sauces or canned food. Yeah. Again, about our company in brief, we have 30 plus years of experience, and we are market leaders in canned and processed fruits and vegetables. We have about 150 products, and this is something that has grown over time. Whenever an entrepreneur starts, they start small. We also with a very small assortment of products, and we add of products, and help. You would be surprised to know it's a very take you through it very quickly. Earlier, all the fruits and vegetables used to come to Delhi, Lawrence Road factory for processing. So the fruit and vegetables like pineapple has only pineapple recovery is only 30%. That means 70% is crown and outer shell, which is very heavy. The thick outer shell that is there and the crown that is inedible. The only edible part is pineapple, which is 30% of the total fruit. And all of that used to come from south of India all the way to Lawrence Road. And our company was one of those who pioneered in setting up factories for the growing areas, so that we can, stop all that unnecessary transportation and save fuel at 70% waste products. Plus, we avoided that 70% to go in the landfill in Delhi. So now that 70% waste, which earlier used to land up in Delhi landfills, now is manure in the fields itself, in the pineapple field itself. So there's a lot to do in this industry. As I said, our processing capabilities are only 10% right now. We are one of the leading brands in the HoReCa sector. Hotel, restaurant, caterers. If you go to any restaurant, able to see our product and a brand there. Our model, as Mamta ma'am said a while back, and I was very happy to hear that only food in itself is not sufficient. Fair, you want to do food processing, but you also have to market it and you have to distribute it. जो हमने process करा है उसे बेचना जरूरी है. We have to work through the supply chain. So the food processing basically includes collecting raw material either directly from the farmers, or we have contracted facilities who help in raw material procurement. So we collect raw materials from the farmers. The raw material is processed either in our factory or at the contracted factory and labeled under our, which is Golden Crown. And then the finished product is shipped to our warehouse and depots. And from warehouse and depots, distributors are empaneled with us. And from there, it goes to various customers. So it is we've been able to span ourselves through the entire supply chain, and that has taken time for us. Initially, for those who are starting up, it is very interesting to know that initially we were not into direct food processing. We started our own processing only, I think 10, 12 years back. I have been in the factory since past 5 years. So we started primarily as a third party label brand, and we established our brand in the market, and then we increased our product portfolio. Yeah, presently we are also exporting to various countries, and I'm happy to say I am the one who started the export for our family business, and now we are exporting to over 6 countries right now. Going forward, business divisions, it is important for us to understand from the legal perspective what all each division takes. So there is a production division, marketing division, and distribution division. For anyone to put up a food processing facility, there's a lot of documentation for sure. In India, we have to have a NOC from fire department, pollution certificate, labor law registration, ISO, and as said by Mamta ji, it is beneficial to have a consultant for that matter who can help you, with these. There are also many agencies who can help you with procuring the licenses. For marketing and distribution, there are standard FSSAI license. FSSAI license is required for anybody who is in food business. Even if you are in food logistics, you have to have FSSAI license. FSSAI license and GST registration. If you're planning to market your products, it is preferable that you have a trademark registration, so that if you brand to go by, it is not infringed upon by any other company. And we see that for even our brand, we see a lot of namesakes. We see a lot of people printing our pouches. So we have to keep a tight check on that. And ours is a trademark brand. So if you're planning to launch a brand, please go ahead and do a trademark registration so that you can take a legal action if in case needed, if somebody tries to infringe on your branding right. There are many trade bodies, as I said, available in India, like APIDA, there is Spice Board, there is MOPFI, and these are the, like TPCI also. So these are the bodies which will help more buyers. These are the bodies which will help you get export contacts. So that's a part of marketing. It's essential for small businesses to do it. Also, what is not written here, and it comes to my mind, is that MSME registration would help a lot for a new business. SME registration enables actually, if you've given money on credit to your distributors, or for that matter to a buyer is supposed to repay the money to an MSME within 30 days. And there are a lot of benefits also, government benefits, that there are a lot of government procurement where there's a quota for MSMEs. So if you are putting up a company, it is a very good idea to register yourself as an MSME. The MSME helps you with credit rating. If you're applying for the first time, they'll do a credit rating for you, or they have an agency which helps us to get a credit rating, which could be used for application of the. Yeah. As far as I wrote about the tentative investment that would be needed in marketing and distribution for production. A very basic food processing unit would need to have at least a 25 lakh and above investment. Yeah. And for a distribution and a retail franchise, you would need to have a 15 lakh and above investment. The investment in food processing actually depends on the kind of plant that you want to build. The more automation you put in, definitely there is more investment. Okay. Besides, also depends on the product that you want to build. And if you want to build an initial product, let's say tomato ketchup, and your competitors are Nestle's and Maggie's, and so they're very competitively priced product, and they're extremely competitively priced. I, being in the same industry, and I know what is the cost of manufacturing a tomato ketchup and selling it, and including that distributor margin. So the product is priced very competitively. So you have to understand first what is the kind of product that you have in mind. if you think and you have to mark out your territory, that who are my competitors. If your competitors are Nestle's and this one, you have to have a production unit which could produce a commercially viable final product. Yeah, if your competitors are not Nestle's and Maggie's, and so in that case, you can figure out a product, let's say a boutique product, where you can go ahead and find a margin for yourself. Your operations would be more sustainable there. So my advice for new entrepreneurs is to find a niche for the product so that they're able to market it better. Okay, going forward. This is a small investment information that I had put up for various food processing businesses that people can take. Mushroom production actually happens in either in cold stores or during the winter season, and it starts from October sometime. The mushroom farmers put up sheds, and it's a very, very blooming business. It's catching up, and it has an excellent return on investment. Yeah, the minimum investment here is 15 lakhs. You would need land and building for mushroom share. Other expenses would mean there's a particular soil that you need. You would need spawn in which, through which the mushroom grows, labor expenses, etc. Yeah, as I said, this is a very profitable activity. And as I understood from Mamtajit, this comes under the scheme as well. This is something that you could look at. Then if you plan to put the very basic food processing plants is ketchup and sauces plants. Now, the investment here, you could do it in sachets or bottles or cans, whichever way you want. So the minimum investment here is at least 25 lakhs. You would need land and building and working capital. Then we have canning unit where the minimum investment is about 50 lakhs. You would need land and building and working capital. But although these give a fair idea, you have to understand yourself that it is very, very important to understand that you would need to have a consultant with you, who can advise you as to what kind of plant you need to set up. Yeah, because there are if I talk about my factory, we have a boiler and a retorting, a sterilization unit. Now the boiler and the sterilization unit are big equipments in themselves, and they would call for a lot of investment, upwards 75 lakhs. But if and there are other small food processors that we also work with. We work with almost 35 odd food processors pan India. So, and I have seen small units which are wonderfully run, but they have minimal equipment, but they do have a lot of labor expenses there, but they are able to thrive. So you would need to have a consultant to figure out what is the kind of product that you want to do, what is the minimum machinery requirement that is needed for the same, what is the final commercial price of the product that you can arrive at using that machinery and investment. Yeah. Okay. Now coming to our distribution arm, we have a direct-to-customer website called easysupplies.com. It's an omni-channel which is supported by a back-end e-commerce website. And it's an opportunity for a lot of entrepreneurs who want to get into distribution. We have a territorial division of Easy Supplies franchise outlets. So where all the online and offline orders in that territory are serviced by the franchise outlet. There's a guaranteed about 15% and an investment of about 20 to 15 lakhs for the same. If you avail the franchise, the operational break-even comes in about 4 to 6 months. Okay, other opportunities for somebody. It is very important for all the women colleagues and entrepreneurs to understand that, as I said, there are 3 divisions. There is a production, there is marketing, there is distribution. At one go, it is very difficult to it is very difficult to master all of them. Yeah, and the same has been the case with us. We did not master all three of them in one go. It has taken us time and years and generations to do that. So if you are focusing on, make it your core forte and make sure that you're able to produce a commercially viable product. It's very important that the product has to be viable so that it can compete with competitors in the market. Or if you want to place your product in a way where it is a boutique product and you can ask for a premium, different story. That's a marketing effort again. But if you're focusing on food processing and if you're planning to put up a food processing unit, you have to see that that you are able to master food processing so that you have a commercially viable product. In that case, you should ideally go for who can help you with distribution, partners who can help you market the product. So that is also where our company comes into play, as we represent about 35 food units pan-India. So it helps them to reach the scale easily. We are able to help them with quality control training. We assist them with working capital in case. We also assist them in procurement of raw materials. A consultant or any such company which helps in marketing or distribution would be able to partner with able to help you in terms of cost cutting as well. So we are a canning company, and because we have a large operation, we are able to procure raw material at, let's say, cans at a better rate than anybody else, any of the small scale, a startup for that matter. So if you have tied up with any such company, you would be able to they would be able to share their knowledge with you. You could be knowledge partners with them, and they would be able to get you good. They will be able to consult you well, give you good advice, train you on quality, and vendor and raw material support. Yeah. Similarly, we can help you. There's another opportunity, as I said, Easy Supplies retail franchise, where you could look at retail distribution of products territory-wise. There is a brand and customer pull already, and you could look at an ROI of 15 to 20%. Both of them are excellent business models, and besides our company, if there are any other questions in food processing, I would be happy to take that post this one. So that's my PPT. And I always say, and there was a lot of disturbance initially, and I'm happy to see that we continued with the webinar despite the disruption, and that's what a woman's job is. We are faced with lots of challenges on our daily lives, but we still make sure that we do the job that is attributed to us. So the best man for a job is a woman, and I will be able to, I'll be happy to answer any questions regarding food processing if at all. Thank you.